In this presentation, we will continue on to part 5 of our practice example problem related to a private college, this time putting together a statement of financial position. Statement of financial position, we're going to be putting that from the trial balance, which will be on the left. We're going to put together the statement of financial position on the right, the statement of financial position, of course, being similar to a balance sheet. With the information on the left will be in order. The green accounts will be the asset accounts. The liability accounts will be in orange. What would be the equity accounts in a for-profit type of organization, here being the net asset accounts in light blue. Below that, what would be the income statement, those temporary type of accounts, the revenue and expense type of accounts in the dark blue down below. We will, of course, be concentrating on assets, liability, and equity as we are making or creating the statement of financial position. So we're basically going to be starting from top to bottom, pulling this information from the trial balance, creating the statement of financial position with it, converting from a debit and credit type of format to a plus and minus type of format. So we're going to start with the assets, where we have the cash and cash equivalents. So we're going to pull over the cash and cash equivalents. Then we're going to be pulling over the short-term investments. Then we're going to pull over the tuition and fees. Note that it is net, which does mean that we're going to take that 1360 minus the 28 to get the 1332. So we're just pulling over the 1332 within the assets. Pledges and receivables. Once again, that is going to be net. That's going to be the 5910 minus the 295. That's going to be the 5,615. Then we're going to be pulling over the prepaid assets. So the prepaid assets at 832. Then we have the property, plant, and equipment. Once again, that being reported net. Net being the 385,859 minus the 131,000. That's going to be the 254,859. That gives us and then next we have the investments finally. So we have the investments of the 164,910. Summing all those items up within the assets section would of course be the 7447 plus the 7679 plus the 1332 plus the 5615 plus the 832 plus 254859 plus the 164910, giving the 442674. That's going to be our total assets. We move then on to the liabilities. Liabilities in orange. Liabilities having a credit balance. We then converting that credit balance to a plus and minus format in our statement of financial position. So we're going to have the accounts payable and accrued liabilities. That's going to be a credit here, which we of course will convert to a positive number in the statement of net position. We have the deposits held in custody of others, the 708. Next, we have the unearned revenues, the 924, and then bonds payable. Obviously, summing then those up would be the 2185. Let's do that one more time. It'd be the 2185 plus the 708 plus the 924 plus the 96000, giving a 99,817. Next, we're going to have the net assets. This is where it really is a bit different here. Note that in that it's very similar. This would be the equity section in a standard for-profit type of organization. We're looking at the net assets here. Now, oftentimes you might think that you need to do the kind of income statement type of report, statement of activities, in order to do the net assets. However, I do recommend oftentimes doing the balance sheet first. And if you don't know the allocation between the net assets without restrictions and with restrictions, then you can at least put the total in there. Now I'm gonna add this up because it can be a little bit tedious. If you were in Excel and you had it formatted nicely the way we do here, all the blue accounts, credits minus the debits, would then add up to the total net assets, and then you could go in further and break out between the net assets without and with the restrictions. I recommend doing that because it allows you to be in balance, feel good that you have something in balance, take a larger puzzle, a larger problem, and make it smaller by then working in on a smaller problem. So if you don't have Excel and you have to add this up, it is a bit tedious, but you could do it. I'm going to do it now if you don't want to watch the ad, and you can take forward on this, but we want to pick up the credits minus the debit. So I'm going to add the credits minus the debit. So 104,200 plus a 234,209 plus the 234,307 minus the debit 21,770 plus the credit 1900 plus the 2270 plus the 2390 plus the 561 plus the 350 minus the debit 122452. minus the debit 31518 minus 37790 minus the 28710 plus the credit 7580 minus the debit 7580 plus the credit 2070 plus 1040 plus the 1800. So that gives us the total here. If we looked at the total, it should be the 342,857. So again, you can see that's a little bit tedious, but you're going to have to do that anyways, and no matter how you cut it. And so I would take a look at that, do the math here, figure out this number, even if you don't know these two numbers, and then go back to your work to have the smaller problem of breaking out this number into its components. What you'll do there in doing that is you'll be able to pick up this number and at least be able to judge whether or not a mistake has been made along the way by using the double entry accounting system, by adding up the liabilities and the total net assets, kind of like the equity section, to, in this case, the 442,674, the bottom line. And if that matches the total assets, then we say, okay, good. Now we have the smaller problem of breaking out basically these two numbers. One way that we have seen this number is when we calculated the post-closing trial balance, closing out the temporary accounts, the dark blue accounts, into the what would be equity accounts, here the net assets accounts, breaking them out into their respective or correct net asset account, those without donor restrictions and those with. So we broke them out and here, and these are going to be the amounts that we would then see on our statement of net position. We found these once again within the closing process. And so that's how you're going to pick up the 110,207 and the 232,650, which would add up to what we just calculated for the total net position, which would be all the blue numbers of the 342,857.